Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give them all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in no wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
It would help if I come off mute, right? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How's your Saturday going? Listen, this is one of the days I felt like doing absolutely, when I say absolutely nothing, absolutely nothing. It's a chill weekend. My wife's birthday is tomorrow. Yeah, my wife's birthday is tomorrow, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. And I cannot wait to celebrate another year with her tomorrow. So hopefully I find a way to make it a great day for her. I'm gonna cook dinner. I don't know what else we're gonna do, but we're gonna try to make the best of the day. But listen, I had to jump on here real quick because whew, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little bit of background about me when it comes down to the food service. I have been in management for over 25 years. And I understand the ins and outs when it comes down to being in fast food management because you can have some really hard days, y'all, being a manager. You get employees that are, teenagers. You get employees that are seasoned, the ones that, you get the teenagers that don't want to listen. You get the seasoned employees that think they know everything. And either way, you're in charge and it's your job to guide them because if you don't do your job, then guess what? You're not going to have a job. So it can get really stressful. And then you got times where people don't come into work, they call out, and you got to make the sandwich. You got to ring the order up. You got to pass the order out. You got to collect the money. You got to do all these roles in management because that's your job to make sure that the shift still runs smoothly. And you may go in, like I've had times where I had to go in at open to close because I was always in a salary position. So basically, when you're a salary employee, they own you. Basically, you have to go in over your 50 hours. And I found myself many times working over 100 hours a week and only getting paid for 50, right? But the job in itself can be really challenging. I had teenagers, that would go to school and they would come to work right after school. And sometimes, we as managers have to understand that people have lives outside of the workplace. Yes, you're supposed to leave that outside. But I've had moments where my employees would come in and they would be having a bad day. And me as a manager, I observe that kind of thing. I observe their behavior, I observe how they acted so I can know how to deal with them properly. So if I saw an employee come in there that was a teenager that was in high school and they looked like they was having a bad day or what the case would be, I would try my best to make their day turn around before they come behind that counter. We got to sit down. We got to talk about it. What's on your mind? What's happening today? What are you dealing with? How's your day going? And it was just one employee that he would come in, and I could always tell when he was having a bad day. Always. And his go-to was a cookie from Zaxby's. So when I see him come in like that, I'm like, you know what? If it was another manager on shift, or if it wasn't, I would send one of my employees to Zaxby's to get him a cookie. And once he got that cookie, he was good. Back to business. But you have to be really attentive as a manager of what your employees are going through and what's happening in their lives. Because if you don't, how can you properly say there's a difference between managing and leading? There's a big difference in managing employees and leading employees. And my thing was I would get in the midst of my employees and I work just like they did. We gotta meet these goals together. And not only that, when we did meet the goals, guess what? I rewarded them. We ate pizza or whatever the case may be to let them know that, you know what? I really appreciate you and everything that you're doing because you didn't have to come to work. You didn't have to do what you did. So you got to find ways to, reward them. But I have been really dancing around this topic about the manager that was unlived by an employee. There's a lot of people that think that the employee was right. And there's a lot of people that think that the manager was wrong. But being in management can be, oh my god, it can be such a hard job. Very hard. Now, my opinion on that situation, well, I'll tell you what, before I even give you my opinion on that situation, let me play a clip from that. 1 second.
Loved ones of the single mother and McDonald's manager who was stabbed to death while on the job returned to the scene of the crime. This time they're honoring her life. Good evening. I'm Brandon Hudson.
And I'm Taryn Asher. It happened last week at the East Point McDonald's. Her co-worker accused of killing her, leaving the community devastated. Fox News' Camila Murray joining us now live from this vigil. And wow, we see all the people behind you. It left a lot of people just truly asking a lot of questions, Camille.
Yeah, an absolutely horrible story we've been covering since the very beginning. And yes, as you can see, a lot of people here getting ready to honor her and pay tribute to Jennifer Harris, 39 years old, single mother of 6, loved by so many, a manager here for 15 years here at this McDonald's. I want you to take a look at her picture and some video from what happened on Thursday, and let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers remember this happened on Thursday morning. She got into a sort of altercation with one of the employees, according to police. She sent that employee home because that employee was not doing their performed duties. This is all according to sworn testimony from a detective in court on Friday. So that employee leaves and comes back about 5 minutes later and allegedly stabs Jennifer Harris several times in the drive-thru area inside. Somebody witnesses it. They are a CPL holder, and they've actually pulled up waiting for their food. They shot a gun into the air to try to stop everything, but it was too late. And then they actually held the suspect in custody at gunpoint until police were able to get there.
So, me personally, I think that in this situation, if this was an ongoing situation where the manager was bullying the employee, I feel like that employee should have took it to the next level. Hey sis, that employee should have took it to the next level and went to HR and complained on that manager. That manager had been working there 15 years. 15 years to provide for her 6 children. Now, as a manager, you're gonna have to give orders. You're gonna have to be able to maintain a cool in a situation. And me personally, I went through a situation that was kind of similar, and thank God I'm still here. But she sent this employee home because she wasn't performing her duties. And as a manager, you gotta pay attention to labor, you gotta pay attention to food costs, all these different things in order to run your shift, right? So maybe it was too slow and she had to send that employee home because she had to meet the labor needs. But at the same time, maybe she had pulled that employee to the side many times to tell that employee, hey, listen, I need you to fix XYZ, because there's a certain thing as a performance review. You're gonna tell your employees, okay, hey, you're up for a raise. These are the things that I like what you're doing well. And these are the things I think you need to change. And being the fact that she had worked there for 15 years and nobody complained about her being a bad manager or whatever the case may be, and then this one person comes along because they get sent home and unalive her. Y'all tell me y'all what y'all think about that. Let me tell you about my why y'all thinking about it and contemplating and getting ready to comment. I was working at a fast food restaurant. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but we got real busy. When I say real busy, we got real busy, like slam busy. So I went to the back to get an employee that was on break and let him know that, hey, it's time for you to come off break. I said, we're a little bit busy now. I need you back online, please, and thank you. So I go back up front because like I said, we're getting slammed. So I go back up to the system and I realized that he still wasn't online. So I went back and I said again, hey, I need you back online. We're really getting busy right now. We getting our butts handed to us, right? So I go back up to the front again because, like I said, we were so busy. I couldn't really afford to be offline. So in this moment, he walks up to the front and he proceeds to get irate. So me, I'm looking at the line. I'm looking at the people in the restaurant. I'm like, no, we're not gonna do this up front. Let's go to the back. So we go to the back, and he still, to this day, I can't remember exactly what was being said. I was just standing there listening to him talk to me, well, hearing him talk to me. And then after he said his piece, I proceeded to walk away. When I walked away, he hit me in the back of my head. Bam. Knocked me unconscious. I hit the floor. And if I would have hit the cement of that floor, I wouldn't have been here today talking to y'all. But I hit the bun racks instead. One of the employees came and for first he ran outside because he thought he was gonna go after him or whatever the case may be, and I guess defend me in my honor. So when somebody told him, hey, no, Miss Nikki's on the floor, he came back, picked me up off the floor, put me in the office chair, and tried to get me to come through. And when I did come through, I was tripping. Like I still deal with this kind of stuff to this day from this concussion. But when I came through, he would asking me, how many fingers am I holding up? What's your name? What's your kid's name? What's your wife's name? These typical questions that I should know, right? But I couldn't answer. So next thing you know, ambulance come. I get rushed to the hospital. I got this neck brace around my neck, and I suffered a concussion, and still do to this day. And this is why this situation really hit home because I'm like, you can be doing your best as a manager, and you're providing for your family, and then you have one person to come along and think that you're being overbearing, but in reality, all the pressure of the world is on your shoulders because you're the manager. And they expect you to do your job. And if you don't do your job, then guess what? You're not gonna have a job. And you have to tackle a lot of things as a manager. And I don't think people understand that. But that's here or there. Let me tell you about my experience today though. So now after working 25 years in fast food, right? Now I'm on the other side being a customer. And because I worked in fast food all these many years, I have a real strong patience for people that work in fast food because I know what it's like to be on the other side of the counter. I've had customers to spit on me, y'all. I've had customers to throw things at me. I've had customers to literally threaten to fight me about their food. Been there. So I can understand the pressures of being on the other side of the counter. So when I'm the customer, I'm chill because I get it. It's been a long day, it's been busy, nonstop. You can't go to the bathroom, you can't do nothing. I get it. So today I had a moment to be on the other side again, right? My daughter wanted to go to McDonald's. And I didn't even expect to get a sandwich, y'all. I was so happy that she bought me a sandwich. I didn't know what to do, right? So we get in the line. We get to the window to pay for the food, and I could, for whatever reason, my car wouldn't unlock. So I was like, all right, we're gonna, I know he's frustrated. He's looking like he's frustrated, right? So I'm like, okay, we're gonna just pull up, and I come inside. So I go inside. Told him I was coming inside now. So why did you delete my order off the screen? So now the manager has to re-ring the order in, right? Pay for it. Normally, normally I would check the food before I would pull off, but this time I didn't. I said, "All right, let's go. Whatever. I'm just ready to go home." So I get a little bit down the road. Tell me why my sandwich is made wrong. Okay, my sandwich is supposed to be a McDouble, no onions, extra mustard, extra ketchup. Yeah, I love mustard, y'all. They gave me a McDouble plain, only cheese, and the bread was hard as all outside. Now, if the bread wasn't hard, I would have just took the sandwich and I'd have ate it. I would not have went back because I don't play about people in my food now, y'all. They say you don't piss the cook off, so I don't play about stuff like that. So I was like, I gotta come back. I gotta turn around and I gotta go back because they done messed my sandwich up. You know what I mean? So this is why I did that. I went back. I'm sorry, y'all. My son was talking loud. I had to tell him, boy, be quiet. I'm on live. But anyway, so I went back and instead of stopping the speaker, I went around to the window and I was like, hey, my sandwich was made wrong and I had the receipt in my hand. My sandwich is made wrong and my daughter's drink tastes like carbonated water. Could you switch this out? Can you switch this out? So first window, when I went to the first window, the guy was like, you need to go to the second window with an attitude. Close the window. All right. I ain't say nothing. So I went on to the second one. I got to the second one. I was telling them what the issue was or whatever the case may be. The girl rolled her eyes, y'all. She was like, and I was like, okay. At this point, I'm aggravated for real now because now I'm at the window. I didn't even have an attitude with you. I'm just telling you what's going on. And you got a whole attitude rolling your eyes. So she went and got the manager or whoever, team leader, whatever the case may be. She comes to the window and she's like, well, no, matter of fact, she didn't even speak. She didn't speak. She didn't say anything. She just came to the window, grabbed her stuff, closed the window. Okay. Come back to the window. The girl gave the sandwich or whatever in the bag, or whatever the case may be. Sandwich was hot, right? I'm still holding the drink that she was supposed to switch out, right? So I say, well, can you switch this drink out? It tastes like carbonated water, right? So she takes the drink, rolls her eyes again. No, she said, what other drink would you like? And so Monty said, sweet tea. So she rolled her eyes, took the drink. Now, you're not supposed to take food or drinks back through the window, but they took it back through their window. I didn't want the food no way because I didn't want it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it. So she comes back to the window with the tea or whatever and gives it to us or whatever the case may be. And both times when they gave me the sandwich and when they gave me the drink, I said thank you. She closed the window. I said, you know what? I'm over. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready to go home because this right here, done pissed me off. Y'all, I ain't even eat the sandwich. I ain't even eat the sandwich. That's how upset I was. I got home. I was like, you know what? I don't even want this because at this point I'm feeling like, you know, she might have did something to my food. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I'm not eating this food because I'm funny like that. You know, hey, I'm funny like that. But I was like, the way she was upset, she might have did something to my food, even though the sandwich was hot. It looked like it was good and everything. And then probably wasn't nothing wrong with the sandwich. But at the end of the day, I know what you're dealing with. I've been there, done that. You probably was mad with the customer before me, but you did not have to be mad with me too. I'm a whole different customer. But even after all of that, y'all, I still went out here in this world and still didn't take it out on the next person. Come on now. We gotta do better out here. Sis, I know you would have showed your butt hard. You would have showed your butt, you'd have been there. See, we couldn't eat that food. We couldn't eat that food if you had something to do with it. Oh no, we couldn't eat that food. I would be like, just give my money back because you gonna show off. I already know you was gonna show off. So no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. All right, y'all. Be right back.
What's up, everybody? First, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Breaking the Silence. Because without you, none of this would be possible. None of it. See, Breaking the Silence started off with my voice. Me coming out of my shell. Me finding me. And doing something I should have done a long time ago. But then as time went by, I was like, you know what? There's some amazing people out here doing amazing things that I want to shine the light on. So that's why you are here. So thank you so much for being a part of Breaking the Silence and continuing to break the silence with me. But now I gotta ask you to do me a favor. Real quick. Can you share this episode with somebody that resonates with, and make sure you do two more things. Subscribe and turn your notifications on so you don't miss another episode. So let's get back into this episode.
All right, y'all, I'm back. But I was like, I gotta go live and talk about this. So they must know who I am. I'm a whole podcaster, and I'm gonna talk about some things. But the more of the stories are, be kind to people. Be kind to people because for one, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people have been through. And just a simple act of kindness can change your whole course of your day. Literally. That could have ruined my day, actually. But at the end of the day, I was not going to let it control how I went about my day. Just because they were having a bad day. But customer service can be really, 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 when I say really, really hard, it can be really hard. And I don't think people really understand that. You got the good, you got the bad, and you got the dark realities of customer service. The good part about it is you get to meet new people, you get to, build teamwork, in these high pressure environments. You get to build memories with people, that went beyond and above. You get these customers, you got your regular customers that come in that make your day. Time they walk in, oh yeah, Mr. So-and-so here. He wants this cheeseburger with such and such and such and a side of this. Them. And it becomes like this situation. I had a lot of customers like that would come through that were just great. They made my day, even if I had a bad day. So, you got that good side of customer service, but then you got that bad side where you're dealing with these rude, impatient, aggressive customers that come in there and they having a bad day. They want everybody in the world to have a bad day along with them. And it really be that way, honestly. They come in mad at the world, mad because something that happened at work or something that happened at home, and they want you to feel it too. Then you got the moments where you're faced with, you're enforcing policies or procedures that you don't necessarily agree with, or you feel like it could be done a different way, but you got a job to do. So it becomes you against them, so to speak. You against the employee because you got to protect your job. Then of course you be burnt out. You ain't getting paid much. And then you work hard for 2 and 3 and 5 years or more, and nobody ever recognizes the good things that you do for the company. But this is why it's important for us to build our own legacy and build our own situation, because you're sitting here working on somebody else's dream. What about yours? And then for a little bit of money and no recognition. But after spending 25 years behind that counter, it shaped my whole perspective as a human being, as a person, as a customer. It made me look at things a whole lot differently, especially dealing with those rude employees, the rude customers. And the thing about it, I always looked at it this way: the business is nothing without that customer. They're the reason why we get paid. This is what I always say. So let's treat them with respect. But then what happens when they come in there acting a fool? Then what? Like, that whole perspective goes out the window. And I used to teach my team, listen, you can't act the way they act. You just have to come here and do the very best that you can so we can go home. Period. So we can go home. And that's just real. But I hope that y'all have enjoyed this episode, this pop-up episode. I don't do it that often, but I said I was going to try a little bit more to pop up and talk about, things that are happening in real life in real time. But sometimes I'm like, should I? Because some of y'all probably be like, man, look, you feel that way. You feel that way. So sometimes you don't need to tell everybody what you feel about certain stuff. So, but I'm gonna try to do better. I'm gonna try to do better and try to pop up a little bit more often and talk about some things in real time and real life that are going on. But we gotta understand that respect goes both ways. Customers, employees, people in general. And I know the older people would tell me if you don't cut that out right now, because the elder, I love them to death. I do. But they feel like they're due respect regardless, just because of their age. But respect does go both ways. Period. And just know that, there are gonna be times where you're gonna have to face things and you may necessarily not want to face it, but just stay calm out there, because people are really taking people out over the simplest things in this world. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful out here. Stay aware, stay alert, and know that, listen, life is too short. We're here today, going tomorrow. We're here today, going the next second, next hour, the next minute. We got to do better out here. And that's just real. But I hope that y'all have enjoyed this episode. But I got one more thing to play for you before we get out of here, right?
What's going on, everybody? Attention, BTS artists, singers, rappers, spoken word artists, I'm talking to you. So, recently, I went on this venture of having some of the artists, feature in my intro or outro. And I would like to send a special thanks to Maestro the Lyricist, Incognita, and Lady Lux for doing some intros for me for the podcast. I am so excited about the others that are currently working on their intros so I can further shine the light on them. So if you're interested in featuring on the intro or the outro for Breaking the Silence, please reach out to me. DM me or email me at breakingthesilencepodcast2024@gmail.com. Let's win together.
All right, y'all. So another shout out to Maestro, the lyricist, and Incognita and Lady Lux for an amazing feature for the Breaking the Silence podcast. I appreciate y'all to the highest. If you have been a part of Breaking the Silence, have been an artist on Breaking the Silence, spoken word artist, I want you to feature in my intro or outro. So if you would like to do that, please reach out to me. you can always send me a message. Send me a message or email me, however you feel like you can get in touch with me the fastest. Either way, I'm going to be paying attention. Let's work together. Let's win together. Let's try to get more exposure for not only you, but only for me too. Let's do this together. So I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and I hope that y'all will continue to try to break the silence in your own lives. I hope that you know that the world needs your voice and your voice matters. So use it and start living your 24 hours as if it is your last 24 hours, and make your name sound loud as it can. So until next time, later.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space that'll waste my mind, so I meditate till I levitate. I elevate when I learn not to hesitate no more, keep moving forward, chase my goals and focus more towards it. Hate the lows, but I need those to flourish. Place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me. Breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm nicking the cold. Let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.